Howdy, folks, and welcome to the first Talking Pictures movie review podcast. Working title. We might come up with a whole new name. Who knows?
Who's to say?
Yeah, we Henry here, joined by Jackie Newheisel.
Hey.
We're talking Halloween, the movie that just came out a couple weeks ago, actually. But we thought it's Halloween week. Why not?
It's Halloween week. If you're going to go see a movie in theaters this week, wouldn't it be this movie? Or wouldn't you want to know about this movie?
Seems silly to see something else, right?
Yeah.
But we're going to start with probably doing at least one of these a week. Talking about a movie that we see in theaters. We are AMC A-List members.
Boom.
So at a point,
and if you're not, by the way, get going on it.
It's the sweet bennies. if you want to see 3 movies a week for free, it is the deal for you. I'll tell you that much.
Do you like not waiting in lines and seeing free movies?
Because I do.
Those are things I care about.
I really do. But we're going to be talking about probably at least one movie a week that's in theaters. Really don't know how this one's going to go. Don't exactly know the format and everything, but our idea, first half spoiler free.
Completely spoiler free, educating those on basically who are interested in the movie. Should you see it? Yeah, stuff like that. So we got questions set up for that. Very similar to our normal conversations that we have on a regular podcast, but we will flesh that out a little bit more.
And then second half, tons of spoilers.
Yeah,
just talking about the movie.
We'll play a quick couple seconds of outro music right after the spoiler-free section.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
If you want to avoid that, you can get out. But if you want to hear that, stay on for the ride. That's where things get weird in the back half of the pod.
Let's go. Let's just start going. Let's go. So a couple quick plot explanations, and there are multiple because this movie is one of these movies. It was an old movie, and then this is the sequel. But yeah. So if you've seen the original, Halloween movie,
the JLC,
yeah, with Jamie Lee, babysitters getting killed while trying to do it. The plot line for you people is basically it's like a sequel to the original, but all of the other sequels that happened over the years didn't happen. So it's like, forget about those, just the original. 40 years later, this is the sequel. We learned that not long after the first movie, Michael Myers, bad dude, captured by police. He was under psychiatric care ever since. Laurie Strode, who's Jamie Lee, basically for the rest of her life was scarred by it. And kind of tried to become a survivalist. I don't know.
She's been in her own psych ward.
She's been in her own, exactly. Waiting for Michael, even though he's been in jail and it's been 40 years. He hasn't spoken. Of course, he escapes, and that's what we got to deal with. If you haven't seen the original, the plot of this movie is basically 40 years ago, this guy, Michael Myers, he was a 6-year-old, killed his sister. 20 years later, escaped from a mental hospital, killed a bunch of people.
15 years. Killed
a bunch of people. And then this is 40 years later. He's been all locked up. And when he killed all those people, one girl got away, Jamie Lee Curtis. And that's basically the movie.
That's basically the movie, yeah.
Psycho guy, psycho killer, sociopath dude.
Psycho killer.
Yeah, it's all very real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So first, starting it off, grade in the movie. Right out of the gates. What do you give it? We got 3 grades.
I'm giving it my best grade I can give for not like an all-time great movie.
So
I'm going a healthy thumbs up, and if I could assign a letter grade to it, it'd be a B+.
So our grading system is going to be how much we enjoyed it, how good of a movie it was, and overall grade. So how much did you enjoy it? I give it a B+. I
say I enjoyed it about a B+.
I thought it was a B+ level kind of movie.
And I would say as a movie, it's probably a B.
I'd say B-. As like, was that a really good movie? Like, like a really good scary movie? No. B-.
I got notes, but again, how good are any scary movies?
We're gonna get into
as you go through it. I mean, there's always going to be some issues. There's some hangups with it. So I thought top to bottom, like the big thing of it is I was entertained on this movie from start to finish.
Yes, I agree.
Especially with some past experiences we've had in the theaters, such as First Man and other shit, where I'm looking at my phone constantly. I never once was distracted. I was into this movie from start to finish.
It's entertaining for sure. And I think we'll start with, it's technically a scary movie, but it's not a scary movie.
But it's not a scary movie.
It's not. You cannot compare it. If you're looking to shit your pants, holy fuck, that's so scary, Sinister, The Nun, those movies, it's not that at all.
Not even a little bit.
Whatsoever.
Like those movies' sole intention is to go out and to scare you.
Yeah.
And they mortgage the quality of the movie and everything in its process to do that.
And I think that's because like the past 10 years, all of a sudden movies can be so freaking scary because they're so loud.
So loud, and all the special effects and shit.
And all that shit.
You can just there's nothing you got to do. It's all in post, and it's scary as shit.
So this was like the original Scary Movie because this was like when the original came out. There was no special effects stuff like that. So like this isn't like a demon nun or a demon clown or demons doing stuff.
Just a psycho 6-year-old who grew up to be 61 and is still angry.
It's just like
wants to kill teenage women.
A big dude who likes killing horny teenagers, basically.
That's it.
Right? And so, but that's kind of why I liked it, is that it's like I love getting just terrified and cover my face and, Conjuring and Annabelle and all those fucking movies. But this one was like, it's scary. You're like, where is he? He's somewhere. But it's not like, you can see this movie if you don't like scary movies in my mind.
You and Jack always give me shit for making this comparison because I've done it before. And it's all a ploy to get Jack to go see a scary movie with us because he refuses to see scary movies. But I've compared this movie to Disturbia.
Yes, you do compare every movie to Disturbia.
I do not. I've compared a few scary movies to Disturbia. I think I did It was the only other movie I compared it to. Basically, here's the point.
Which is funny because I don't think this movie's like It.
It wasn't like It at all. It wasn't like It at all. But it is like Disturbia in that it is very scary, but there's a lot more to the movie than just the scariness. That's not its sole point. Like I thought it was more funny than it was scary.
Same. I don't know if it was more funny than it was scary. I would say equally funny and scary. Yeah. But I totally know what you mean.
And like the whole point, like it's just like the very first Halloween movie it's a great movie, but it takes a second to get into it because it's kind of slow and kind of boring.
Well, the first one also, it's like because it was made in '76 or whatever. Like we're saying, it's like that is some people's like favorite movie, but it's like.
But for
nowadays,
the sake of the horror genre, right? Like it does all the things very well.
Like nowadays
the horror things.
Nowadays, the original Halloween movie is not scary.
No.
You won't find it scary.
No.
It's like creepy and like there's some, there he is and stuff.
Oh, I guess Mikey's sitting over on our couch right now, thought the original was scary.
Yes, but the original's not scary.
But Mikey's a child.
Yes, Mikey's a little baby boy. So the original's not scary. This one is definitely scarier than the original because it's more updated. But like I was thinking, like honestly comparing this to another movie, it's not. But I was getting almost John Wick vibes.
Interesting.
It's not him, a guy with a gun, and we're not on that guy's side. But it's a lot of, pencil through the eyeball, and it's bloody and gruesome, but it's not fantasy at all.
No, it's very real. Yeah, so it's a psychological thriller slash slasher.
So it's slasher,
and then like the other one they say is a cat and mouse, where it's a guy chasing the girl and it's constantly you're on the run.
Yeah,
you feel like you're on the run with the victims.
Yeah, I hate it. There's all these like little genres of
I don't want to get lost in the weeds and being lame film guys, but like
I'm part of the problem.
Yeah,
but it's like there's plenty of spines broken and people thrown against walls and stuff like that. There
are highlight kills.
Yeah,
these movies,
sure.
And especially now with the special effects. Like we talked about that when we were walking out. In the first movie, a lot of the kills are off camera because it's like, how much can you really show someone killing someone? Like
that's like part of it.
It's him just strangling and then really deliberate knife strikes. But this thing. He's like tearing guys' jaws off and fucking.
Well, I think, and that's
snapping
why
necks.
That's why I would say to save the movie is we already said it's definitely funny. Every other scene, and Danny McBride made this movie or was part of it, so it's like there's definitely funny. Every scene that isn't like you need a lot of kind of side scenes to set people up to get killed. Where it's like, and these two teenagers are walking on the train tracks, and it's like they're gonna get killed. We've never seen these guys before. Something's gonna happen, kind of thing. Every single one of those scenes is hilarious. Like every one of these scenes of like, kid in the truck with his dad. And what do they see on the side of the road? Like what they're talking about is hilarious.
Yeah. All the side dialogue is so funny.
It's like there's like a real funny element to it where throughout the movie we were laughing hysterically. And then you add that to Michael Myers, this bad guy. We really don't know anything about him besides he just loves killing horny teenagers, basically. He just loves a good old-fashioned killing, right?
Yeah. And we've said like this movie wasn't perfect. You just called it a B-.
Overall,
yeah. Overall,
there were plenty of parts where I was like, "That's so stupid. This plot is so stupid."
So it's not
honestly everything with Jamie Lee Curtis I thought was really dumb, but
interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was so stupid. But I liked her. Like her character was entertaining as heck. And Michael Myers, the killer, I would watch that guy slit throats all day long, and that's all the movie was. So I really liked it because it's like it's funny, and you got this psycho killer guy who's just gonna kill you with his bare hands, and a crazy old lady, Jamie Lee Curtis, trying to shoot him up. And that was good for me. That's a good recipe.
Here are the parameters. Here's where this movie falls exactly in between. I'm going to say Disturbia again. Just shut the fuck up about it. It's Disturbia's on one side and The Strangers are on the other.
Okay.
Where it's that same type of they never fucking talk. It's in the mask and it's constantly like they don't even move fast. So it's not even like there's the, you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you
like
mean.
the sense of urgency is turned down a little bit, even though you constantly know it's coming.
So that's exactly the sense of urgency. It's like I see the Strangers comparison, except this movie is not trying to be as scary as Strangers.
No, not at close.
So like Strangers is like the only movie in my mind that I can really think of off the top of my head that is all like technically it's real. This could really happen. That is like bone chilling, scary.
Yes.
Because in Strangers, they're in the woods and they're alone, and there's like this we're trapped thing. In this Halloween movie, in between every killing, it's kind of people doing their own thing. The music gets light again.
Yeah, you're
and stuff.
right. And we're just in the neighborhood. We're in Illinois.
It's different where it's like they just weren't trying to make it as scary as that. They could have.
Yeah.
Like it's a similar kind of thing where you see him through the window and they don't. And that's always like over and over and over again. But it's like there's plenty of when people are killing, it's actually funny. Like there's plenty of people, you know this guy's going to die. And he cracks some joke thinking that like his honey's in the back seat and it's Michael kind of thing.
Well, you haven't even heard my dark horse MVP candidate, who is the best death of the movie.
So let's get
Little
there.
Oscar.
So let's get there. So there were not a ton of famous people in this movie, but there were a couple characters. There's always the best characters and worst characters in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Who was the best? Who was the worst in the movie?
So, usually in a big ticket game like this, you got to be the quarterback to win MVP. You got to be Jamie Lee Curtis.
You do.
And as good as Jamie Lee was, I just thought it was one of those games where it just ended up being like 13-12. We needed a field goal. We needed a miracle. Who was that miracle? It was this little kid, Julian, played by Jabrail Netambu, if I'm saying his name correctly. That was fucking... He stole the show. He's in the movie.
He's the perfect example.
So, yeah, basically, if you haven't seen the movie yet...
which you haven't, because this is spoiler-free.
Because this is spoiler-free.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter is now who Jamie Lee's age from the original Halloween movie, like high school girl. So her and her friends are now the prime candidates to be the victims for an escaped Michael Myers.
Yeah.
So this kid, like, again, we've got the babysitters and stuff like that. This was the kid being babysat by one of Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter's
he's being
friends.
babysat by one of the people who.
He's in the movie, and he's great, and he's fucking fantastic. Another person I'd throw out for this award would be Oscar, who's also he's in that high school group of buddies, and he's just the fat friend.
Yeah, see, there are these side characters where it's like the kid being babysat, the fat kid who's the friend. There's the kid in the beginning who loves to dance. There's
and again, I usually agree. You got to play a bigger part to be MVP, but these guys they won the game.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, and that's why I liked it. Is that every side character was hilarious. The dad, who's only in a couple scenes, is your quirky dad telling embarrassing stories in front of your boyfriend. Like, all that stuff's hilarious. Honestly, like, the loser of the movie, which is so funny, because, like, Jamie Lee Curtis was just kind of crazy, which, again, I enjoyed, but, like, she's a little...
She's your loser of the movie?
I don't think it's her fault, but you know what? I'll take it back. Her daughter in the movie.
I got
her
it
daughter's
written down.
My loser.
Will you take a look at my notes, Henry? I've got it written down. Judy? Is that her name? Judy Greer?
I'm trying to think what that actress is from.
Judy Greer.
So her name's Judy Greer.
She's in 13 going on 30.
She's the bitchy friend.
She's the bitchy friend in 13 going on 30.
She's the bitchy friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not great.
And she's just mean and rude the whole time.
Well, that was just kind of my problem with the plot is that plot line. Jamie Lee Curtis's what's been happening for the past 40 years wasn't great. I liked Michael. All we know about Michael the past 40 years, he hasn't spoken. He's just been thinking of killing. It's like, I like that. I'm in for that. Jamie Lee Curtis being the survivalist. It's like 40 years is a long time.
It's a long time. I grant you that. In the trailer, I was not excited for it. I was like, here's where the movie's gonna start and end is fucking Jamie Lee Curtis in the woods shooting shit. It's like those are not the legs to stand on. But I bought it.
Yeah.
I thought she, as the crazy woman, made all the sense in the world.
I guess
I bought her with a gun in her hand.
No, I
think she could kill people.
She did. She was good at the wacky, not neurotic's the wrong word, but, she's this shut-in crazy lady thinking everyone's after her. And she was good at that. It's just that character is a little bit absurd.
She's great at the shut-in.
Yeah,
that was a great phrasing of it right there.
Thank you. Should people see it in theaters?
I say yeah. We were talking about the movies in theaters right now. That I would say A Star is Born is the best movie in theaters right now.
Yeah, so right now you got A Star is Born, Venom, Hunter Killer, The Hate U Give, First Man. Those are like the top movies. Star is Born is definitely the best.
But you go see A Star is Born, I was different for a week afterward.
Yeah.
It's a fucking it is a sad, dark movie that changes you. This movie is nothing but laughs and thrills. I think this is the movie to go see.
I think if you're looking just for an entertaining evening or maybe an entertaining, Sunday afternoon, I think this is the movie. Also, it's Halloween the week of.
Yeah.
If you want to go see a scary movie, it's basically this
on
or the
Halloween
Nun,
night. Yeah.
which is crazy. Not a lot of scary movies. I feel like there should be 4.
People are blowing it.
Yeah, I don't know, but see this one. If you really want to again poop your pants, get scared, then go see the Nun.
Go see the Nun.
Go see the Nun. It's fucking terrifying.
Oh my God.
This is it's Halloween-y the whole time. It gets you in the mood. It's spooky and creepy, but normal.
If you live in an apartment complex such as we do, and you're not handing out candy, then this is the play. This is the Halloween Wednesday night play.
This is it. And yeah, I think that's about it for the spoilers. Spoiler free.
So.
Right?
I think so. So in summation, you and me disagreed. You gave it a B-. I gave it a B+ of a movie.
No, of a movie. Overall, I give it a B+.
We agree A Star Is Born is probably the better movie, but we would say this is the movie to see in theaters right now.
Yeah, I would see A Star Is Born over this, but if you've already seen A Star Is Born, then I would see Halloween.
So
right? They're totally different.
Totally
different ballparks.
So take that information and do with it what you will. I would stay off Rotten Tomatoes. I wouldn't be misled over there.
No.
And if you want out of the spoiler section, I would get out now.
Last note. What's called? Don't everyone half the reviews I've read about this movie are people shitting on it just because they really like the original and they're like, this isn't the original at all. Fuck the original. This is a good movie. It's entertaining. The original was made 40 years ago.
I thought it paid plenty fucking homage to the original.
Yeah, but it was more just like they didn't. I don't even know. But horror snobs can go.
Yeah,
suck it.
You know what? That movie's got issues too.
Yeah.
So go fuck yourself.
Okay, so anyways, with go fuck yourself, horror snobs. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
Here comes
alert.
the music. Get out now if you want out. Go.
You kidding me, Pam? You're gone. So spoiler stuff. Let's just go through the plot. If you've seen
take
it,
us through the plot.
We're just gonna kind of walk through the plot, tell you what we thought.
So now let's have fun. Let's get real.
So 40 years after the Haddonfield murders in 1978, Michael's been in this hospital or this psych ward for 40 years. 2 journalists, both foreign, I want to say, are they
very
British?
vicey journalists.
Very vicey.
Very foreign vice.
Yeah.
They're in it for them. They're trying to make their own serial podcast out of the Michael Myers story.
Yeah, but anyway, so those guys come and they talk to the doctor, who's also foreign, who's great. You need the doctor to be some
strange
accent, and he's.
I've devoted my life to this work.
Yeah, I also love we'll probably talk about this a couple times. The doctor's whole thing is I'm obsessed with Michael. He is my life's work. I've never heard him spoken. If you've never heard a guy speak, how do you pretend to know anything about them?
And we've agreed upon this. The file on this guy is a fucking page long.
It's half a page.
He's a psycho. He killed his sister when he was 6, and he doesn't talk much.
Yeah.
I think we should put him down.
Well, definitely put him down. But also, how are you even interested in... I guess it's interesting that he hasn't spoken, but how could you infer anything about a guy who hasn't... Yes, I don't know.
And they talk about his eyes all the time, like he's just got these lifeless, evil eyes. It's I don't think you're gleaning a lot of information from the sit-downs.
Yeah.
I think we just leave this guy in solitary, and we come up with a solution.
And this guy's name is Dr. Ranber, I guess. Dr. Ranber. So the doctor's you guys can talk to him. They bring him out to this impossibly scary courtyard, psych ward playground that's a big checkerboard.
Checkerboard.
Everyone gets their own 10-foot by 10-foot tape
square
box around them. Tough stuff.
And they've got a ball and chain on their ankle. So it's assumed that's how far they can go.
That is
so as long as you're outside the squares, you're good.
That's break, though. That's their recess. But the journalists come behind him, and they're trying to, I don't know if they're trying to taunt him or what they expect. Why on earth they would expect for him to talk? It's been 40 years. He hasn't talked to anyone. You just showed up, Johnny England, and now you got his mask somehow. I have some questions in that, but I'm going to let that slide. Somehow you got the mask that I'm sure worth a pretty penny, right? But it gets that, does the whole, speak, Michael, your mask. As soon as he takes up the mask, everyone in there is starts shaking and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is also a question we had is I don't get the importance of the mask. I like the mask. It's terrifying.
I don't quite get it. So his original murder when he's 6 years old, he does it in a Halloween mask.
Like a clown mask, yeah.
But then we've got a handful of murders that get committed without the mask.
Yeah.
So it's he prefers it, but it doesn't feel like it's the end all be all. It's not the source of his evilness or anything like that. So
he's not a fan of his mug, so he likes to cover it up.
It's not a plot hole, but I just don't get it. I don't get why the significance.
But great way to start the movie.
You feel it, don't you, Michael?
Great way to start the movie. Just say something, Michael. Michael.
By the way,
stuff.
Do you see how close homie got to the box? Like he towed it. His toe was over
he got close.
I was positive we were
Reach
getting
around?
a MacGruber throat rip.
Dude.
Just see you, bro.
I just wanted an Undertaker pick up and lift.
Yeah,
just one hand.
Well, he's known for that move, too.
I know.
It's one of his plays.
It's one of his favorites.
Brute strength.
So the journalists leave, all bummed because they couldn't get anything, and they go to Laurie's house, who is Jamie Lee Curtis. And she's got this insanely heavily fortified house with all of these gates and guns and stuff. And they're like, "Can we interview you?" And she's like, "No." And they're like, $2,000? I think it's 2,000, right? And she's like, "Come on in." So they go on in.
So Jamie, doing okay, but needs the money.
Definitely needs the money for more ammo and more bear traps. But the journalists' names are Aaron and Dana, by the way. They like talk to her, but they're like trying to figure out more stuff about Michael, doing a true crime podcast and stuff. And their big thing, right, is like, we want you to meet with him. That's basically their question, which is like, of course not. Except if I'm her, you gotta do it, right? Like, I wouldn't do it for them.
If she's been devoting her entire life to this, then yeah. But you have the op. It's like you can go sit down with this guy.
I guess it's two ways. She could have gone and talked to him. She didn't need these people.
Oh, no, completely.
So it's like if she was going to over the past 40 years, she would have done that.
Yeah. So it's two separate conversations.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. But this guy, by the way, is just getting so off to this whole conversation.
Oh, the guy's loving it.
To go there and face him. It's like, tone it down, buddy.
Relax, dude. This is a real person. That's why also I love, like, the journalists are so classic. I don't know if it's what journalists actually are like.
Well, they're heroes.
In movies, they just, anytime a journalist, they don't want you to root for them. They have them, kind of bait and switch you, kind of like, "Oh, we just want to talk about this." All of a sudden, they're like, "Yeah, you want to meet him. So your kid got taken." No, they go, when'd you get your kid back?
Yeah.
And she's like, "I know I didn't get my kid back." As a journalist, what do you think that question's getting you anywhere? How do you think? As soon as that happened, I was like, okay, we don't like these guys. They're going to die.
She let you in. This was supposed to be a puff piece.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Yeah. Like,
we're grilling her on her fucking daughter and granddaughter?
You've been in here for 5 minutes. Maybe get her, you got nothing to even work with right now. But,
another interesting question that lends itself to that. Who was Laurie's husband? Or
she had multiple.
Donor
who are any of them?
or whatever it
was.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm with you. Or donor. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Michael. I don't know.
Number 3, trilogy. I smell it.
That'd be great. But they're also like, as they're leaving, they're like, Michael's getting transferred to a maximum security prison. And she's
already.
Like, she's like, I know. Don't fucking.
Writings on the wall.
You don't think I fucking know?
The escape date for this guy.
I know. I love it. That's why even in like this non-spoiler, here's kind of what happens roughly. It's like, he escapes. We know.
Why is anyone ever being transferred from prisons?
I don't know.
If the one person wasn't good enough, why was that the original holding area?
I don't know. I just know it never goes well. It's never gone well.
It's never gone well once.
Never gone well.
You see SWAT? I have.
Yeah, multiple times. So like Michael's being transferred. We see all of them get onto the bus, all these patients, including the weird, creepy doctor guy.
Yeah.
Who's like, "Michael, my son." And from there, when he got on the bus, I was like, this is suspicious.
Yeah.
But I didn't fully, they did a good job of that.
You've already got it penciled in that clearly the transfer is where this all goes down.
And
so
you watch
why
him get
is
on
the doctor on the bus?
And you watch him get on with handcuffs and the leg stuff, and you're like, he can break out of this. But cut to a first hilarious scene, guy driving with his son, and his son's trying to tell him that he likes hunting, but he likes dancing more, and it's not cool that his dad keeps on taking away from dancing practice. That was my first. I was like, this movie's gonna be great.
That's the greatest scene.
That's hilarious. But they drive up, they see the bus has been flipped. There's all the people outside and stuff, and we get first kill. Michael's first kill is a kid. How about that?
Well, it's technically implied that because the kid goes looking and the dad got killed and the cops.
Yeah. First kill we see though,
on screen. Yeah,
it's a neck break to an 8-year-old. No, I give him 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Which, by the way, put that in your brain. We'll revisit that later. I got issues with Michael's morality.
Yeah,
I don't know where the fuck the line is drawn.
You can't ask him about it. Huh? Come on.
Really?
But anyways, so Michael's out and he's got a car. Michael knows how to drive, by the way. We know this.
He did in the first one.
And I know, but he's still. I just love he's
just
good
figured
driver,
it out.
very slow. Until he needs to go fast. But the next morning, the sheriff, what happened?
Are you talking about Officer Hawkins? The guy
Hawkins,
who originally caught and shot Michael.
Remember the Titans coach, Coach Yost. But he basically starts telling people, like the guy escaped, and we're like, so we know he escaped. We go to the gas station where the journalists.
Well, we a quick pop in at that graveyard because that's where he went in the first movie.
Oh yeah,
they go to his sister's gravesite,
right?
And then it goes there, and
we see Michael, 61-year-old Michael, like
behind
just
a tree, hanging out behind a tree,
all 6'5" of him.
He's gigantic. He cannot hide in the thinly woods.
What weight you putting on him?
I like 6'5", and I think his 21-year-old self was like 220, 225, kind of a rangy outside guy. I think he's 240,
250 now, though.
Now he's 250.
He's big.
He's meaty. He plays inside in the 3 tech and gets loose.
But at the gas station, the journalists are there. A girl uses the bathroom while the guy's paying. I love the guy tries to pay. Sees one guy dead, and it's like, huh. Keeps walking, sees another guy, blood everywhere, and he's like, okay. And then keeps walking and sees another guy, like, head cut off. And then it's like, oh no, something's wrong. But by that time, Michael is in the bathroom, and he's dropping. He's opening his fist, and teeth are falling out onto the floor.
That's in the trailer, by the way, which I forgot about.
Yeah, that's scary stuff.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by this play.
And he just starts. It's funny, we don't really quite know. Michael can break through a door instantly, but bathroom doors, certain types of doors, they are his kryptonite a little bit, which I get. It's a different. You're not just knobbing it.
On one hand, he's the most patient, practiced killer of all time. He's like number one hunter in the world, and on the other hand, he doesn't know how to use fucking opposable thumbs. The guy is subhuman.
He's a tough guy to figure out, but he eventually. He's about to kill her. The guy journalist comes in to try to save the day. Just gets beaten to a pulp.
This is my death of the movie, by the way.
Really?
This guy.
The constant beating to the head on the wall.
Oh, just gnarly. And I had this guy pigeonholed pigeon-eared for a big time kill anyway.
Yeah.
He was so annoying the first half of the movie.
Those were 2 good ones.
Yeah.
I guess 5 total with the gas station attendants. But I forgot to mention that the guys that he saw killed, the gas station dudes, one dude's jaw was totally ripped out. Mm-hmm. That was pretty gnarly. The jaw thing, where it's like it's in 2 different places.
Yeah, it's gnarly.
Pretty crazy. Anyways, Michael takes their vehicle, takes his mask out of the trunk, puts it back on. Michael's back.
And they make a big moment of that again, too, of him getting his mask back.
I think it's more for like the fans, people like the mask is so iconic.
Okay.
I assume so.
Because again, I'm like, did he not just savagely murder like 9 people in this last scene? Like, he doesn't need the mask. Yeah, why does he wear it?
I think he just likes it. Okay, why do we wear blue jeans and not? It's preference. But we then go to Lori's kid's house, or her daughter's house, who's now grown, has a kid of her own. But Lori's broken into that house and is like, your house isn't safe. Like, these are all the security things that are wrong with your house.
And I'm pretty sure she's strapped at this time too.
Oh, she's always strapped.
Yeah.
They're open carry laws in Haddonfield, apparently, because she always has multiple weapons on her. But they kind of argue for a second, and then Lori's like, goes to the gas station to check out the bodies and talk to the police, because she does deserve. It's funny. It's like, you'd think the police would be like, no, Lori, but it is like, you know more than anyone, Lori. We need your instinct and your knowledge.
Is she still the only one that he wanted to kill that he hasn't?
That, and also think she's the only one that's ever actually seen him kill anybody.
That's still alive, I guess.
He killed all the witnesses back in the day.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's like she's the only one that's actually seen firsthand what Michael Myers, what he can do. So, yeah.
It's all very true.
Yeah, but Halloween night, Michael wanders around the streets. People are trick-or-treating. He gets a hammer from this dude's garage. He ends up at
the hammer kill is pretty gnarly. Also,
hammer kill is pretty gnarly. He ends up at the house of one of Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter's friends, and that whole scene's pretty epic. The kid is hilarious.
The kid, my MVP, steals the show here.
Dude is so funny. Yeah.
Because again, you just got misbehaving teens, and instead of a sassy grandpa, we have this sassy 9-year-old kid who speaks like he's 65.
Yeah,
and he's hilarious.
And he's so great. And I thought the friend was actually pretty good too. The blonde
stoner
girl.
Yeah.
And her stoner boyfriend. I thought they were all funny.
All the kids were good.
The part where the stoner boyfriend just goes into the garage and sees a Harley and goes, whoa, and just starts revving the Harley. Had nothing to do with anything. It was perfect. Super funny. But that was actually, this might have been my favorite kill. It was a bummer that it was in the trailer, but he's like, boogeyman. She's like, no, goes to close the closet. Doesn't close.
Yeah.
One more time, doesn't close. Third time, open, fucking throat grab. I was like, oh, that was a good one for me. Because the lights were on in the closet. That's where Michael, he's thinking where everyone else is sleeping. He's thinking.
His kills have evolved a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
He used to be,
but still similar.
He was primary throat grab, but then the finishing play was the knife. Now it's all he's snapping jaws, he's snapping necks.
He likes the sound of bones breaking.
Yeah, apparently.
That's what he's looking for.
I think they've got quite the weightlifting program for him at the maximum security prison.
I thought he had a good kill to the boyfriend though. We didn't see it, but we see him pinned up through the neck.
And again, homage to the first movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where he just gets to leave him up there like
boyfriend.
A sculpture, a trophy.
Yeah.
On his mantle.
So then, as that's all happening and people are dying, the cop comes in, has a couple pretty hilarious missed shots on the stairwell.
This was the funniest part of the movie for me, actually. Yeah.
The Michael runs down the stairs, the cop's upstairs. Michael's already maybe out the front door.
Maybe out the front door.
And the cop's like, bang, 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 and just shoots the staircase a couple times. He goes, damn.
And then follows up with a run after that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, dude.
Yes.
Officer Hawkins.
But so then we know Michael's on the loose. Jamie Lee Curtis shows up. My favorite line from the movie. Jamie Lee Curtis and the cop have a little moment because the cop, they both have history with Michael, and Jamie's like, you know what? For the past 40 years, every night I've prayed that Michael escapes. And the cop's like, why would you do something like that? And she's like, so that when he did, I could kill him. And the cop's response is, probably a dumb thing to pray for.
Immediately, it's like, yeah.
And everyone in the theater was like, yeah, why did you?
Death toll's up to 12 right now.
I don't know if there's a God, but why would you even take the chance if this is helping this guy get out at all?
Maybe just hope he dies in prison.
Yeah, pray for that.
We're going to pray for anything.
Pray for that.
Not very utilitarian here.
What the heck?
Sounds like it's very self-serving, Lori.
But so they're kind of on a team. It's now Coach Yost and Jamie Lee Curtis.
JLC, Freaky Friday.
Yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis and the doctor. The doctor's there the whole time. The doctor's, we got to find Michael, and at this point we think he's good.
And because of the first movie, you're supposed to trust the doctor, right?
Yeah.
Because the doctor was the big hero. But it's like, this guy, you just know.
And the whole first movie, I was like, I don't know about this doctor.
You just know.
We then go, we kind of skipped the daughter's plot line because it's kind of whatever. But she's going to dance with her boyfriend who was a great character because you only know a couple things. It's like people say he's a bad guy, but he's a good guy, and then we see him be just the worst guy ever.
Worst guy ever.
Making out with a girl, just the classic. I don't know what you saw, but this is your fault. It's so classic. I saw you making out with her. No, I wasn't, and fuck you for thinking I was, you bitch. It's like, okay, guy, you just lost me. Right. I love this exaggerated. It's like, is that what high school boys? I hope so. But he then does not apologize at all. Throws her phone in the big thing of pudding.
That was a harsh play.
The pudding throw, tough. Tough.
Something you got to know about our generation. We care about our phones,
and we hate pudding. We hate
and they're expensive.
I don't know why there was so much pudding at that Halloween party, but it did got me excited. But so that guy's out of the movie. We then get his kind of chubby, likable friend. It's like, I'll walk you home, daughter of Jamie Lee Curtis, or granddaughter. He makes a move. Not a good move. He's not a monster.
We set this guy up like he's being, and I don't like to use the word rapey lightly, but he's going to be this rapey weird guy.
He has some rapey vibes.
He does definite rapey vibes. But all he does is be super, super nice and sweet to this girl.
But he's looking for some action, new.
Maybe on the back end, sure, but he's still being a good guy.
I'm with you in that it's as soon as he's like, oh shoot, I didn't know, I thought this and that, then it's like, okay, whatever, guy, like it's okay. And when he's like, I'm so sorry, all that stuff, but you just saw this whole thing coming. This guy thinking, this is my Super Bowl.
You made him out to be a predator. He's not a predator.
I don't know.
He's a high school kid who's misunderstanding some of these lines here.
Let's just say Michael Myers, I think that was a justice kill.
Listen to any Taylor Swift song. This guy thought he was in the right.
Yeah, well, I thought Michael Myers was in the right by slashing his throat. But this was a great scene. He tries to kiss her. She runs away. He ends up in the backyard. This was like 10 minutes too long, which was why I loved it, of him being like, hey, old man, whatever, old man Johnson, sorry about this. Got a crush on a girl. You ever got a crush on a girl? And he's like, nah, probably not. He just keeps talking to himself. I thought it was great. He gets his, I think he gets a spear through the jaw.
He gets, Michael fence picks him up and just kind of places him on the
bottom of the jaw.
Fence post.
That's a nice one. That's a good kill.
That was a good kill.
I was pumped for that one.
You get the trophy aspect of it. He's like a bass fisherman.
Yeah.
By the way, another fun fact about Michael here. Did you notice he doesn't trip the motion sensor? So the whole scary aspect of that scene was that it's motion sensing lights, right? So the light keeps flashing on, and every time it does, Michael's like 20 steps closer to him.
Yep. It's terrifying.
What's the story there?
I don't know. Somehow,
how he's able to evade.
Also, he's been in jail. I don't even know if he knew anything about the censure
that technology.
If it would have existed since the 70s.
I don't know.
I don't know. But hey, that's why he's Michael. He's good. And then we get she runs. And this is actually an homage to the first one. She runs and actually finds a neighbor that's going to like help her. People take her in. She ends up with the sheriff and the doctor. This is when they see Michael and just run him the fuck over, going like 60.
Killer play by the sheriff.
We both were like, that is not Michael. That's the guy dressed up as Michael. And this is going to be hilarious.
It's like, surely in this town,
they should have done
a popular Halloween costume.
It must be. It was 40 years ago. The joke's cool. Joke's fine.
Like, it's a very common mask.
Yeah. But it ends up being the actual Michael. And this is where we get, the twist of the movie where Sheriff Hawkins, aka Coach Yost, is like, I'm finishing this fucker. And the doctor pulls out some type of switchblade and just puts it to the jugular.
Just does a reversal.
Jugular of Coach Yost is now wide open, so blood everywhere. And he, pretty hilarious. He immediately puts on the mask, which is great because it's way too big for him. And then he drags Michael's body into the car with ease. All of a sudden, Michael's body's in the car. I was like, you just do that yourself?
Unbelievable.
I can't even get you off the couch.
We're conservatively guessing 250.
250, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his arms and his hands.
Of dead weight.
His arms and his hands are just absolutely massive. They're gigantic. But, so then all of a sudden they're driving. We realize, okay, doctor's bad guy. Newsflash. Doctor's not a good guy.
And that was satisfying because you had him pegged the whole movie.
Yeah.
It was like, this fucker.
And
you don't get to have that voice and not be evil.
Him driving with the mask on is so funny. He's like a little kid. He's just hilarious.
He put the mask on.
He put the mask on.
It's like, what are you doing?
Then Michael wakes up. Of course, we didn't fucking tie him up or do anything with sedatives, or even if you're on his team, dude, the guy doesn't play by teams. He doesn't have rules, okay? So Michael wakes up in the backseat with the granddaughter. I think one kick, maybe even a punch. I think it was a kick. Kick to the divider, the barrier between criminals and the police. That's done. Apparently, that's easier than we thought.
Flattens that dude.
Stomps that guy's head in, doesn't he?
Well, that guy gets out in the ground. Yeah,
and
on the ground.
He stomps his head like a pumpkin pie. Just guts everywhere.
Which again,
brains.
I've never tried that, but that looks hard to do.
That looks tough.
That looks like.
I've always heard. This is going to get off for a second. I've always heard. Isn't it like your testicle is like a grape, basically? The people say that's the pressure that would need to. That's like a thing.
That's nuts.
No, and that's the terrifying statistic.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's real, but like that's the thing.
I've heard that about fingers with like carrots.
So that too. So that's another one where it's like you're like, no way, but it's like, nope, that's how it is. Like how easy is it to step on a grater, cut a carrot? And
the grapes.
I know.
But
the reason I say that, I know. The reason I say that is maybe there's one of those that's like, oh yeah, it's stomping someone's head. That's like stomping a watermelon or something. It's
like one of those things. You know how you can't squish an egg if you palm it? Like you can't break an egg if you palm it. It's really hard to do.
I don't know about that.
That's but you know what? You've never heard that thing, right? Yeah. Where it's like because the even pressure, like you can put an egg in a dog's mouth and it won't break or something like that.
There's
something to this. Just
Keep going.
Hear me out.
I gotcha.
I think because of and this is the same logic with why you build a dome the way you build it or an arch, the way the skull is shaped, like that can't be true.
Yeah.
Because all that pressure is like dispersed evenly because of the roundness.
Yeah, I don't have any answers, but
so that's just brute force. That's a
big boy.
That's a heel of size 16.
That's just a big boot. Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. But she runs away, the granddaughter. A couple hilarious cops. We get a great little bit with the PB&J bit.
Yeah.
Where one cop's like, you're such a PB&J guy. And then he's like, I had a banh mi. I had them made one special for you. That's just another hilarious
Now, here's
scene.
the thing about the banh mi. It more refers to the bread as opposed to the contents wherein.
Hey, I'm going to use that fact. I'm going to start telling people that.
Much like a French baguette.
People get banh mi, and anytime it does that, I'm going to throw out that fact weekly. It's going to be a regular.
I like Vietnamese cuisine, okay? I do.
I love it. It's fantastic. I'm a big Thai food guy. But, so they, all of a sudden, they're like, what's that cop car doing over there with a guy and his brains all squished out? Let's go check it out. So they drive over.
Car 92.
Yeah, Car 92.
Car 92, radio back, please. He must just be off his radio. Let's go walk up.
That's the only reason my explanation. Yeah, so they walk up. I don't think we see them die, but we know they die. Cut to the dad dies. Such a bummer. But we see the dad sees a cop car outside, the hilarious father, and is like, hey, coppers, you find her?
Yeah, so basically, chick granddaughter runs into the forest.
Yeah. Bad move. Don't run into the woods. Stay on the road.
Bad
Stay
move.
on the road.
And, I mean, it ends up paying some dividends, but just what the fuck what do you
road.
know in the woods?
What
you think that you have the advantage over Michael?
He was literally born in the dark. By the time he found the light, it was blinding.
It was blinding.
All right? But so the dad though is like, hey, fellers, knocking on the tinted window.
Did you get him?
Yeah. Head through the car. You're dead, bro.
Yeah.
Not enough mourning for the dad.
Not nearly enough mourning.
I don't think we got one scene of dad's dead.
Never once did we acknowledge dad. Husband's dead,
No.
dad's dead.
Dad's
and
dead.
frankly, start to finish, dad was great.
Dad was awesome. That
Dad
was hilarious.
Dad cared.
And dad was a fun dad too. He was talking about doing peyote with the boyfriend's.
Yeah.
He's like, you're a cool dad. You're good.
And the boy, see, again, now
your
we're going
team
way
boyfriend.
off packet. But why'd we go back to the boyfriend? No,
don't
never.
know.
Why'd we ever set it up like the boyfriend was offended that his dad was a bad guy? I don't know.
See, these were the reasons why I was like, it wasn't that good of a movie.
Yeah, there are
it just
holes.
wasn't that good of a movie. But entertaining as heck.
Entertaining as heck.
Yeah. But then,
So dad gets off and no one cares, which is too bad.
Yes, which is a bummer.
Dad's lives matter.
Yes, they do. But we then were in the house, in the fortress with Lori and her daughter, and then now the granddaughter. And Lori's basically like, you two go downstairs into my safe room. I'm going to lay some wood. She does not get off to a good start. She does not. She has this insane barricaded door.
Oh my God. I'm just now remembering her start.
It's a door made of oak or whatever the strongest wood is. And she's got
Yeah.
about 10 of these panels and all these latches and locks. But 2 windows. So she's against the door like, come on, bro. Is it like she's trying to barricade something?
Yeah.
Arms through the windows. He's now got you. He's using the door as a fucking battering ram, knocking your head in.
Yeah.
That was a bad Lord, you've been training this for 40 years?
40 years.
That's your start?
In the very first engagement.
You got to be good off the
block.
block. You got to be good off the gun. And no. She started so, I don't even know. He was in the driver's seat for sure. He had big hands.
I'm going to pose this question.
Oh, she shot off one of his fingers.
Shot off one of the fingers.
That was
here.
sweet.
So gets back control of the gun, just kind of fires a shot.
Big hands.
Big mitts.
Big mitts.
So not a lot of blood.
Yeah, a lot of blood, a lot of glass to the hands.
But as we've learned in the first Halloween movie, gunshots don't face this guy.
Yeah.
He was shot 9 times and thrown off a roof.
Yeah.
He's pretty tough to kill.
But the finger shot definitely hurts him, and then they kind of have a little run around the house thing.
So, by the way, as we're going to talk about now, they're back and forth in the house. I'm going to pose this question. I want to revisit it once we get through with the movie. I think her house could have been a lot better booby-trapped. What say you?
Yes, until at the end where it's like they're basically trying to trap him inside it. Because it's like, yes, totally, except you can't fully booby-trap it because it's like it's still your house. And it's been 40 years and he hasn't escaped. So there can't just be like an axe at every corner because it's like you're trying to get a bowl of cereal. Axe to the face.
I see. Yeah, okay.
But I think once you find out he's out, you can be like, okay, now I tie the string for this bear trap. I pulled the lever for this bear trap.
I see.
Bear traps everywhere. But no, but I agree with you. You got to be better prepared. But it's like it would have been quick preparing. But then so him and Michael and Lori run around the house for a little bit, shooting each other, chasing each other, strangling each other. Great little scene. Does he throw her off the roof or off the balcony?
Yes.
She's on the ground. No way she's dead. I was like, holy fuck, is she dead? It's the exact scene from the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene in the first movie towards the end. It's the last scene. She shoots him off the balcony. He's down. She looks away, looks back. He's gone. So this one was same thing, except she's gone. All of a sudden, I was like, she is Michael Myers. She is the animal, the predator.
I bought this all. I think Jamie could survive the fall.
Then you go, Michael Myers apparently is a pretty smart cookie because he figures out that underneath the kitchen island is a secret hideout. Because I thought, you're good. This guy's going to walk around the house. Probably it'll take him half an hour. He's so fucking patient and slow. But if no one's there, he's moving on. What's he going to do? Somehow he finds the daughter and the wife or mom. Great. I thought it was a great scene, tearing open the thing as the mom's crying, being like, I don't know what to do. I can't do it. JK, bullet through the fucking, where was it? Just the chest?
Yeah. So we called her the loser of the movie.
She was.
I thought she was annoying. This was a great scene.
And for
because
her.
of how annoying she was the whole movie, it was set up perfectly.
It was surprising.
Where it's like you buy all the, Mom, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And then bingo, boom.
Gotcha.
Like,
she's ready. She's trained.
Good play.
Yeah.
By the way, back pocket for home invasion later on in my life, if that ever happens.
Oh, for sure.
Just play that helpless card.
No.
Bang, I'm strapped, bro.
You're done.
You're in my house.
So first we got to get a gun, but then it's bang, bro, I'm strapped. I could totally see us, though, thinking an intruder's in coming to our place and us, like, pretending to cry in a corner for a while and no one comes. But
you got to sell it.
Yeah, you got to really sell it.
What, am I going to stop and check and blow the whole gambit?
You don't sell it, they ain't buying. So Michael gets shot, falls down into where they are. They run out. We get the twist. That wasn't really a twist, but it's kind of a couple times mentioned it's not a cage, which was like, what do you mean it's not a cage?
Of course it's a cage.
But anyways, they're like, it's not a cage, it's a trap. And so lever down. Michael's stuck now in that basement, house ablaze. She just lights all of her shit on fire. I love that after 40 years of planning, that's the plan.
Yeah.
Light everything I've ever known on fire.
Boom.
All of my possessions and my items in this house. Dunzo.
Yeah.
But she does that. They drive away. We see an empty basement, which makes me think Michael has escaped, which makes me think Halloween 2.
Still no tears for Dad in the car ride home.
Oh, no one even mentioned him.
Everyone walks off the field like they won.
Kind of a smile.
And there were no casualties.
Kind of smiling.
It's like, by the way, we burned Dad in that house. We're not getting his body back.
It's gone.
That's a closed casket funeral.
Say goodbye forever.
I mean, jeez.
Yeah. But hey, there's the movie. So overall, I thought it was fun as heck. We ripped on it a lot. I can rip on a movie and still really enjoy it. I know you can too. So I think that was why I kind of...
Yeah.
It was entertaining.
Funny,
tons of action, a lot of blood, some ridiculous characters. It was good.
All very good stuff. My big questions on it. Number one, could that house have been better booby trapped? The only thing I'm thinking, did you ever see White House Down? Or Olympus Has Fallen? Either of those movies?
Neither.
There's like this scene where like the president's son basically finds like this hidden tunnel system throughout the White House.
You need one of those.
Where it's like between make the walls twice as thick and just have little private hallways through the walls.
I'm with you. Wow.
And while this guy's going through the main thing,
but he's going fist through walls. I'm with you. I agree.
I mean, played it. I don't know. What
slow
you're
it
spending
down.
your
Slow
money
it
on.
down. Yeah.
Question 2, we kind of dived into it, but Michael's level of intelligence.
Yeah.
I don't quite understand.
I think we're not really supposed to know. That's like the whole thing. I was waiting for him to talk the whole time.
He flips back and forth between being the smartest guy of all time and then being I don't know.
think he's the smartest guy of all time. I think he's just a machine. He's got a high motor.
Okay.
He's looking. He's a gym rat. No, he's just trying to kill people as much and as often as he can, while at the same time he doesn't like to work himself up.
Okay. Last question. What is Michael's morality?
Because he doesn't kill.
Let me walk you through it. He kills the 10-year-old kid.
Yep.
But he passes on the baby. And I know he's going to get his mask back, but you and me both said mask isn't the end-all be-all. It's killing's priority 1, then the mask.
So here's my question.
So why did he not kill the girl in the back seat and then kill the doctor? If you're just looking for overall kills here, that's the order of operations.
I don't quite know why he didn't kill the granddaughter first. I assume that's just he knows the doctor.
Okay.
So it's more just like
you,
that guy, you're dead. I want to kill you. Girl, you're next. I'd like to kill you, but if I don't, not going to ruin my day. But I think he's an animal. Like he's just like he's like a fucking grizzly bear, but who's kind of a dick.
Or a spider.
But he in that way, he doesn't like do animals kill baby animals? There's no laws. There's no rules out there.
I don't think there's any rules when you're out on the streets.
I could just see there being like it's not even a fun kill.
Is that what it is?
You're killing for sport. That thing, I'm not going to kill that thing. It's like,
I mean, the kid. Did you need just throw the kid out?
Also,
of the car?
you know what it could be? Remember in the first one, or even was it in this one? No, in the first one, she's babysitting. He doesn't kill the little black kid. That's hilarious. And in the first one, he doesn't kill the other kid because when he I think there's like a whole thing of like he was a kid when he killed his sister, so he kind of doesn't kill little kids. And the 10-year-old that he killed was still 5 years older than like he was.
Okay,
that would be my guess, but like I can't support that.
I don't think he ever really had a chance with those kids, but I would agree with you. Those kids were never on his list.
No,
I think he would have killed those kids if they got in his way, but they were never on his list.
Remember like in the first one, he starts by just following the little kid at school. It doesn't seem like he's following to kill him. It's like, little kid, that was me, and then things went bad. Like he's not trying to protect him.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know.
This
is me. I'm making excuses for him.
Yeah. So those are my only issues where I was like,
yeah,
what the heck?
Yeah. But hey, good movie.
Totally. I'll reiterate, it was entertaining from start to finish.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch this movie again.
It'll be a fun, it'll be on like HBO or something, and we'll throw it on every now and then. There's the pod, there's the review. We're definitely going to try to make it shorter next time, but a similar format.
I would say hopefully the non-spoiler section always is short and sweet.
Yeah.
And then the spoiler section will be as long as it needs to be.
Kind of goes, yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see. All right, and there it is.
I mean, if this was far too long, tell us. If it needs to be longer, tell us that as well.
Yeah, let us give us some feedback.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Let us know. And have a fantastic Tuesday.